Mark, on a movie, a director has to know 1,000 different jobs, whether it be writing, story, lighting, sound, makeup, working with actors, editing, so on and so forth. When it comes down to it, what do you think is the most important job of a director?
Okay, the most important job to me is really simple, if you think about it. First of all, the director of a film is a storyteller. In fact, everybody who he's working with is there to help tell one story. So the director's primary job is to be the shepherd of that story, take care of the story, and tell the story as clearly, as honestly, and as authentically as possible. I say story, not the script. The script, which we can talk about later, is a step towards getting the story told. In terms of your question, what you're asking about, in terms of the story being told, at the center of the story, the most important part of the story, are the characters. It's the characters who tell the story. Not the cinematography, not the production design, not all those other elements. All those other elements are a support system to the story. So the director needs to be focusing on the story and then on the characters. And the strength of the performances, the authenticity of the performances, the clarity of characters, the clarity of relationships, the clarity of the journey of each character is really crucial in order to tell the story well. That's the primary focus of a director. And if a director can't do that or loses sight of that, the story is going to start to wobble. And we've seen that a lot, stories which wobble simply because of performance, even though a lot of the other elements may be brilliant, like CGI and special effects and all that. All that stuff is beautiful, it's wonderful, but it's not the story.
Is the story wobbling because the actors are wrong for the part? When you say shepherding the story, where would that get lost? Where would the director, in the course of, let's say, a 14-hour day on set working with actors, lose that? Can you give some examples of what things could happen or how things could happen?
Okay, you brought up two things. What could happen in a 14-hour day, and then you brought up a casting question. So there are two questions. You know, if the actor is right. I'm going to go back to the casting first. First of all, casting, which is really crucial. And very often, we've all seen films where we feel the casting, although understandable, is not right. Doesn't feel like that actor is bringing me closer to the character. And many times that actor is a star or whatever, so you can understand why. So the casting is really important, that we, the audience, the goal is that we, the audience, lose sight of the actor and are only watching the character. And many times the actor, even the power of the actor or the career of the actor, or a lot of other things, can get in the way of us connecting with the character. One more thing on casting, you can cast someone who can't seem to get to the character, just nothing to do with star power. So casting is really important, to find someone who can actually access that character. Now in a 14-hour day, let's say in a 14-hour day when we're shooting a couple of scenes or one scene or whatever we're doing in that day, you ask how the director can lose sight of the shepherding of the story. Very easily, very easily. And I can tell you, as a director, and having directed a lot of films and having worked on a lot of films, you can see it happen. It's what a friend of mine, Mark Rydell, who I worked with a lot, called the big machine. The big machine is the filmmaking process. Cameras, lights, crew, all of it. It's huge. You've been on a set, you know what it's like. It's enormous. And the director is sort of the leader, the guy that everybody's looking to. And what can happen is the director gets distracted by all the challenges and everything he has to do. I'm not saying he doesn't have to do that. He has to do all that and can lose sight of what is most important. You're shooting that close-up of that actress at that moment. What's most important? The lighting? No. The background? No. The special effects? No. What's most important is that performance. I heard once on a set, a director, after they had shot a moment, turn to the script supervisor and say, "Did she say all the words?" And the script supervisor says, "Yes." And he says, "Okay, good, moving on." His criteria was, did she say all the words? Not, was that the performance we need? In other words, can the director keep their focus on the performance? Because when it comes down to the film and we see it on the screen, what do we see? The performance. The big thing that Mark Rydell told me about is you can be on the set and watching, go, that was great, that was wonderful. You can even be in dailies and watch it later and go, great, wonderful. You can go see it at home later and go, huh, what happened to great and wonderful? The machine is taken away. A lot of directors get their energy from the big machine, from the fact that there's a crew and there are lights and energy. Everybody goes quiet, everybody's listening. Wow, they get excited by the fact that they are shooting a film. And that excitement will go away. And then you look at the shot and you go, what? I thought it was great when we did it. What happened? What happened was there's an energy around you which is now gone. So a director's job is, can you shut down the big machine? Can you focus your attention onto just what that actress is doing, what she's giving to you? Can you see only that? Now that's really hard. And one other aspect of this, assuming that you've been working with this actress a lot, and you've rehearsed, and you've discussed this intentionally, so you know what you're going for, and you know what she's going for. Can you watch her in that moment, not only shut down the big machine, but can you watch her in that moment as if you've never seen her before? And you're seeing what she's doing for the first time. That's hard. It's the hardest thing a director has to do.